Hi guys, welcome back to my XFuse guide. Now I'm going to talk about the King's Knight abilities awakening. Are they worth the cost, okay? And also, do you need to pull the units if you miss them on the pass? Let's start with Rayjack. So his first ability awakening is nice and niche at the same time. It is nice because the attack and defense buff are simply top tier, 100% for 5 turns. If you use a character who is able to buff your spirit stats by 100%, then you can save one slot from your party for needing a dedicated buffer. The good example for this is Oran. Oran able to buff your magic and spirit by 100%, so it really complements this ability. Also, Oran able to do an AoE re-raise, so yeah, pretty good buffs for the beginning of the battle, because after that Oran simply need to use his Nameless Song to maintain the buff and give your party AoE re-raise. The 70% life resist is also good because it is not as common as other element resist like fire, lightning, okay? The awakening cost is kind of cheap, only 250,000 gils per upgrade. Yes, it uses support pure crest, but you only need one to max it, so no big deal. The second, Sword Mastery. This one gives him more flexibility on his weapon choice, and if you make him into a dual wielder, then this awakening is even more important because you can get 130% attack boost, which is pretty high. Again, this one is also cheap. It uses tech crest and only 250,000 gil per upgrade, so it is about the same like other trainers awakening. Okay, so Orlando's awakening is also same, I think. Okay, 250,000 gil. Now the third awakening, Order of the Blue Wing. It is kind of strange because this lower your chance to protect your ally from physical damage. At the maximum level, the chance is only 5%. However, the damage mitigation is improved, and I think with 80% damage mitigation, he will take less damage when protecting an ally than taking the damage directly to himself. The defense and spirit plus 20% are also nice, but the biggest thing about the upgrade is 80% chance to ignore fatal damage. This one is very good, okay? First, because the threshold point is at 10% health, which is very low, and yeah, you probably above that condition almost all the time. Also, it is not expensive to awaken this, not a single pure crest harm in the process. But yeah, okay, I think it is kind of nerfed because the chance is only 5%, so the damage mitigation effect won't be triggered that often. The last awakening, and the one which make him much better than unawakened version, Sacred Strike. Okay, it is damage, its damage is improved from 4.4 times to 5.2 times damage. Now this skill can be chained with Sephiroth Octaslash and Prompto's Circular Saw, which is pretty nice, but I think the secondary upgrade is kinda trash, okay? They upgrade the duration of the Light Imperil from 3 to 5 turns, instead of upgrading its effect like they do on Orlando's Divine Ruination. It is kind of stupid because this is the skill you are gonna keep using on the battle, especially if you use Sephiroth or Prompto or Awakened Roberta as your chaining partner. The only benefit you get from increased duration is if you use this as an Imperil skill because you don't have Sephiroth, or Prompto as your chaining partner. So you use Luminous Strike to chain with Miyuki's Kunai Raid. So that way this skill can be, this skill Awakening become 5 turns is still quite useful because you don't need to imperil the enemies every 3 turns. But really you want to chain with Miyuki? Before Awakening, he is not that bad like what others say. Okay, many players say that he is trash, blah blah blah. But I think no, because like I said, he has Miyuki as a chaining partner, so he is not that bad, but not that good. Okay, after Awakening, I don't think he is any special unless you have Sephiroth, Prompto, or Awakened Roberta. If you don't have those characters, then his Sacred Strike Awakening is kinda pointless. Before Awakening, I think he is 8.5 or 9. Okay, after Awakening, if you have one of his new chaining partners, okay, so that Prompto, Sephiroth, and Awakened Roberta, then I think he is worth 12.5 or 13, okay, out of 13. But if no, he is only about 11, okay, because what you get is basically only attack increase. So the answer, the question is, do you need to get him? I don't think so, unless you have maybe Sephiroth. But again, if you have Sephiroth, I bet you probably have Agrias or other Orlando, okay, Orlando Fravia, who can chain with Sephiroth. Okay, you don't need to chain with Octaslash because Sephiroth able to chain with Divine Ruination and with his Heaven's Web and many other chaining skills. Okay, so even if you have Sephiroth, you don't need Reject. Okay, so enough about Reject. Let's talk about the next character, Khalifa. He is a healer and mage hybrid. He's great, but I never use him since I got him. I will explain why, okay? The first Awakening promotion. One thing I noticed is the upgrade cost is too expensive for the effect. First upgrade is Shellfish Spirit Buff, okay, which probably useless on these days because you have your own dedicated buffer. You can use Solil, and yeah, maybe some of you guys have been lucky by getting CG Nicole. The healing power is not improved at all. Instead, they give us one extra turn to use focus healing ability. So yeah, it is great, but I think if you really need that triple healing, okay, simply use Roselia, okay, because yeah, she learns triple cast without needing any setup. Why you bring Khalifa for this, okay? You can bring better healer. And yeah, next Awakening, Icicle Press. This one is his offensive attack. The Water Imperil and Ice Imperil, okay, upgrade are very nice. You can also use Focus Magic for 2 turns, but again, I don't think it is that important because as a mage, there are many better mages out there, especially with Lexa appearance. So he is only useful if you plan to use him to take advantage of Water or Ice Imperil. Not mentioning that his Focus Magic abilities only chainable with himself, so it is not that good, okay? The Awakening cost is also expensive. Finally, the last Awakening, it gives you 50% more magic and a little bit more spirit, but again, his base magic is kind of low to begin with, only 20%, so it is kind of low, and yeah, not kind of low, it is low, very low. I know that he learns 100% equipment magic when single wield, so his magic stats can go up really high with this Awakening, but I think in the end without chaining partner and extraordinary abilities, it is simply not enough. Okay, before awakening, I think he is 9 out of 10. After awakening, I think he's only 11 out of 13. I think you shouldn't awaken him because you are probably never used him and the costs are kinda expensive. Don't get me wrong, okay? He is a good mage. I don't deny that. But if you have obtained him, from I think January. January is the first time we get King's Knight banner, okay? And if you have got it from January and rarely use him, then you probably still not gonna you probably won't use him, okay, after awakening. So it is better to save your resource. However, his Trust Master reward is still useful if you lack dual wield and good road for your mages. Enough about Khalifa, let's move to Bar USA. The first awakening make him into very decent provoker for 4 stars category. It is same like Ozeta Mime Impregnable. The awakening cost is also not that expensive. So this is better than Warrior of Light Bravely Presence because it adds you extra damage mitigation. The second awakening almost rival Warrior of Light like is with us +2, but Warrior of Light like is with us has 5% higher chance to protect your allies. 5% are not that important though, but I simply want to tell you that this awakening is nothing special or not better than Warrior of Light. The rest abilities awakening are trash. Again, don't get me wrong, okay, Bar USA itself is very good tanker, but this awakening costs for force field magic and attack are kinda expensive compared to the effect we get, okay. With that awakening, it is good 25% physical or magic mitigation, but after first awakening, we only get 5% magic or physical mitigation. It is good, but considering the cost, not worthy of it, I think, okay. Also, the second upgrade is not useful at all. Only 20% extra defense and spirit, okay, which can be overridden easily by Soleil. In my opinion, they should add another 5%, so it becomes 35% physical or magical mitigation. But let's just deal with the fact and only upgrade each ability once. In the end, Bar USA is probably the best 4 stars physical and provoker tank. So for provoker, I think he is better than Warrior of Light because that 30% damage mitigation. Ozeta is good, but she cannot protect all allies. So I think if you don't have breaker, then Warrior of Light is better than Bar USA. But if you already have dedicated breaker, then Bar USA is better than Warrior of Light because with his extra physical or magic mitigation, then Barusa is simply much better. Before awakening, he is perfect 10 out of 10 as a 4-star tanker. After awakening, I think he is 12 out of 13. Again, his Trust Master reward is also very good if you don't have 9S Trust Master. But if you have pot 153, then you don't need Bar USA Trust Master, so you don't need to pull hard for Bar USA, especially if you already have Khalifa, okay, because you may not get it, okay. The last character to buy, I guess it is time to say goodbye because he is only maxed at 5 stars. I thought you gonna use him. Okay, he can reach 100% dodge quite easily because he has 30% innate evasion. But again, let's just use Chizuru or that free lightning. Okay, because Chizuru has 40% evasion, and yeah, if I remember correctly, lightning has 30%, which is same but better than these two buy. In the end, I don't think you should pull again on this King's Knight banner. If this is the first time, okay, you see this banner, then maybe it is worth to try to get the 4 stars units, okay, because their Thrashmaster are very good for newbie. But really, guys, I don't think you should spend, okay, especially with the appearance of CG Nicole banner. Better spend your tickets there, because as a mage, I think Lexa is better than Kaliva, and yeah, I think Warrior of Light is enough. Okay, so yep, I think that's all you need to know about this King's Knight abilities awakening. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Pro FX videos guide. Bye bye, guys.